Hello. Thanks to Gary Bolter for doing that new gaming intro for me for my gaming sessions. Now, I don't normally stream on a Thursday night because I'm one of the moderators for another YouTuber on here, and I'm normally doing moderating type stuff. But I had to postpone this a couple of times. And this, I didn't want to leave the gap too long because this was really the only other time I could pick up, pick up the next session was today. So we are continuing with the Dungeons of Torgar, Part 2. So I'm continuing on my quest to get the thing to give to the thing to destroy the other thing. So. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I got to 127 was where I was last time. I'm going to recap. I'm going to do that in a little bit. But before that, a couple of other things. On the industry interviews for the channel, if you're new to the channel, this Lone Wolf thing is a little bit niche gaming thing. It's the Choose Your Own Adventure books. And I used to collect these when I was a wee kid back in the day. And I have the original first 10 books here. But there were over 30 in all of them. So this is the original Dungeons of Torgar here. I quite like that cover. And that was as far as I got. So I'm still playing books that I've played before. And I do remember that book 10 was one of my favorites. So next week, however, after a little bit of a delay, Freeway Warrior books 1 through 4, which are also written by Joe Deaver. I've got the other 3 on the shelf up there. And book 1 is on its way. These were quite hard to get hold of, but I did manage to get hold of them. I've also recently acquired, I have to get up and go and get them, but Valley of the Bones and this other mega fantasy Choose Your Own Adventure series. I'm going to play all of these on my channel. This is the only place I'm going to play them. So why watch somebody playing a 3D computer game when you can listen to me talking and doing silly voices? So just want to say a quick hi to the people in the chat. We've got David Macy. Thank you very much. Of course, Desert Phoenix is here. And 4 other people that I don't know. Feel free to say hello to me in the chat. I will say hello back. These are the times when I can chat to people when there's only a small number of you. Makes it very intimate, but a lot more fun. Right. So we're going to get cracking. Now, I'm hoping I'll finish book 10 today. So this is part 2 of book 10, but we'll see. I don't think my voice is going to give out, so it's still functioning just about. I'm just trying to see if I've got the map. Just trying to find if I've got the map as a separate file, which I should have. Okay. Well, let's see. I've also just finished watching The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, which I'm going to be doing a review of. I might do a gut reaction review to it tonight, but it will probably be tomorrow. And look forward to talking about that. And I've just started watching a show from back in 2017, which has got 2 of my favorite actors in it, Ryan Hurst and David Morse. Ryan Hurst, some of you may remember from Sons of Anarchy, and he was also in Clash of the Titans. Remember the Titans, not Clash of the Titans. David Morse was in The Rock with Sean Connery, but he's been in a number of other really good productions. So, right, so I've got the map here for book 10. So, yeah, The Outsiders is it ran for 2 seasons and then it was cancelled. And people were very frustrated that it was cancelled. I'm going to go and have a look at it, even though it was cancelled after 2 seasons, because I like the look of it. I've watched episode 1, and I think it's pretty good. Okay, guys, this is the kingdom we're in. And We're trying to defeat the bad guys. So if you don't know about the world of Lone Wolf, it's set in the continent of Magnamund, which is very much like Tolkien-esque Lord of the Rings. There's orcs, dragons, and all kinds of nasties. But it's very much got its own look and feel. There's a lot of extra information in the books. Each book comes always with a section called the Magnamund Archives at the back, and there's always little tidbits of information on sort of extra creatures and usually information on the different duchies and kingdoms within the world. So let's get cracking. Right. So I've kind of linked up with the good guys now, and I think that there's a big battle afoot. So I am a Kai master. I'm a sort of Jedi warrior type monk. My monastery was attacked at the beginning of the story, and I'm the only person known to have survived so far. So I get to go on all these special adventures. It's all about good versus evil, really. Okay, all right. I'm just going to sort my chair out. I want to be a bit higher. Oh. While I'm up, I'll grab these other books. So that's better, much more comfortable. These are the other two books that I got. Very big, meaty tomes, Crown and Tower, and Valley of the Bones. These are a Kickstarter. So my big project for 2024 is that I am going to do my own choose your own adventure book. You might know that I'm an author. I've got about 10 books on Amazon. Some of them are novels, some of them are plays, some of them are screenplays. But I'm going to do my own choose your adventure book, and it's going to be a World War II book, which no one's ever done before. And I'm going to have like a historical bar meter where your own actions, if you perform enough of them in the right direction, you can change the course of history. So it's going to be quite interesting working that out and how that works. Okay, let's get going. So we are a short distance from Lord Adamas's tent. There stands a wooden watchtower constructed by his army engineers, which offers an unobstructed view of the causeway and the great gate of TORGAR. So TORGAR is this city on the map right here. As you reach the top of the rickety ladder and step onto the platform beside the Lord Constable, he recounts the events that have led to the siege of this city. Following his victory over the Aegeans and the destruction of Xanar, that's a bad guy, evil bad guy, Adamas led the allied armies of Bor, Telestria, and Palmyrian along the Black Shroud Trail, which is down here at the bottom, in pursuit of a shattered enemy. When they reached Agnakor Kazim, I can't see that. Maybe it's off the map. Well, when they reached it, the Road of Slaves, the army of Bor was detached and sent to assail Black Shroud from the east, while the bulk of the Allied forces marched north towards Torgar. Okay, right, which makes sense. While when Telestria was overrun in the early days of the war, thousands of her people were taken as slaves and imprisoned here in this fortress. Lord Adamas swore that one day he would free them, and he was determined to fulfill his solemn pledge. So during the march north, a great battle was fought in the wastelands of Zutunar, against two Gaiac armies. Gaiacs are kind of like sort of all goblin type things, led by the Dark Lord Kragenskull and Dark Lord Chanaza. Both were soundly defeated by the Allies and sent back to Cragmantle to lick their wounds. Although victorious, Zunata and the Allies suffered heavy losses. Adamas feared they would be too weak to storm Torgar. He was too far from his homeland for reinforcements to reach him swiftly. And there was the growing threat that the Dark Lords would muster their troops in Tanoz and attack again. Faced with this grave dilemma, he decided to risk an assault on Torgar. We have the means to breach the Iron Gate, he says, staring purposefully at the great door of Torgar. The older Mackay have given us a device that will reduce it to twisted scrap. And when we march through the portal to free our people, we shall have all the reinforcements we need. So basically, this is a slave city fortress. Hence the title of the book, Dungeons of Torgar. So then it says turn to page 120. Okay, as per normal, I'm going to post the numbers in the chat as we go along. And yeah, Desert Phoenix, thanks for putting in the Project Aeon link in the chat there. That is where you can actually go and read all of the Lone Wolf books for free. Now, although it's tempting to go and do that, I will probably wait until the new editions are released, because I want to be playing this the definitive editions, and it's quite fun to support the thing in that way. So when I've completed book 10, although I've already paid for book 11 on pre-order, I'm going to go and do the Freeway Warrior thing next, and I might actually then do the two books I showed you, Crown and Tower and Valley of Bones, before coming back to Lone Wolf again. So I might be a while before I come back to Lone Wolf. So Desert's offering to come on with me. You can, sir. How? I'm trying to remember how we communicated last time. Please remind me. I will send you the link. You're welcome to come on. Naturally, you can read through the choices with me, but as long as you haven't played it recently, because I don't want you telling me all the correct things to do. Yeah, let me get the link for you. All right, okay. So Desert Phoenix is going to come on with me. He's been on with me before. My good buddy from Arizona. Just remind me how to send you the link, dude. I forgot what our comms were. Were we talking on Twitter, or I honestly can't remember. So, okay, so I'm going to go 120. All right. 120. The hoarse cries of soldiers and the blare of war trumpets announce preparations for an assault across the causeway. Armored infantry gather in a spearhead formation and wait for the order to advance. Oh, God damn it. Guys, I've got to take this phone call. It's really important. That's quite embarrassing, but I will not be gone long. Just give me a second. Good God, I'm terribly sorry about that, everybody. Oh, look, and I've lost a load of viewers. Right, let's bring Desert Phoenix in. Hello, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just actually had a phone call. It was about a medical appointment, so I had to jump off the stream while it was live and take that call, which was a bit embarrassing because I've never had to take a call and go off camera.
Oh, you're fine.
I had 6 people watching. Now I've got 4. So, but all good. Okay. So, dude, I'm on 120 on.
Yeah, I'm following along.
Okay, cool. How have you been? All right.
Good, you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I'll put my camera back on, seeing as I was on it earlier. Okay. All right. So, let me have a read. This is just another section. There's no choices yet. We're outside basically the fortress of TORGAR. Armored infantry gather in a spearhead formation and wait for the order to advance towards a wall of logs and earth, which has been thrown up to protect the vanguard troops dug in on the causeway itself. These warriors scuttle about behind their ramparts, holding arched wooden shields over their bent backs to protect themselves against arrows raining down from the battlements. The iron gate stands less than 50 yards from their position, and this approach is heaped with bodies of those who have fallen during previous assaults. That sounds like the pile of bodies outside Minas Tirith on Lord of the Rings extended version. You accompany Lord Adamus. Every time I say that name, I think of Lord Adama from Battlestar Galactica. As he makes his way through the massed ranks of infantry and enters a trench which zigzags towards the causeway. He stops at a log-lined hollow, dug out of a trench wall, and speaks with the captain, who is lying there nursing a broken arm. The wounded officer hands him a leather satchel, and Adamus continues along the trench until he reaches the centre of the causeway. There you both take cover with the vanguard and peer through a slit in the log wall at the formidable entrance of TORGAR. Turn to 78. Okay. Could you do me a favour, Desert, and type in the numbers as I go through them into the chat?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing in streams lately. So I list the choices as I go. That way, if I want to go back and retrace anything, it's all kind of there for me. So just under David Macy's comment, still here, just chuck 78 in there is where we're going to. Okay, 78. It is an impressive looking door, says Adama, studying the wall of black iron, pitted streaked with age. But every door has its key, and we have a key to this one. Okay, good. That's helpful. He opens the leather satchel and removes what appears to be a mass of triangular crystals fused into one solid lump. This is a device called the Elder, that the Elder Mackay has prepared for us. It has to be placed at the foot of the door and is activated by pressing this shard. Basically, this is a demolition charge, from what I understand it. There's a picture of it, actually. Here we go. You see that? So it's a bit like that time the orc ran with the torch to blow up the wall in Helm's Deep. And I have an awful feeling I'm going to be charged with running towards this door. Anyway, this thing will explode precisely 10 seconds after the shard is pressed. Good to know. Calmly, he takes a coin from his pocket, flicks it in the air. One of us must place the device, he says as he catches the coin. We're the only two who stand a chance of surviving the run. He nods at his clenched fists and invites you to call heads or tails. Right, now, so I've got 3 options here. Heads is one of them, tails is the other one, but it also says if you have the Magna Chi skill discipline of divination, which I do, then it gives you a page number to go to. So just going to show my character sheet quickly, which Phoenix was kind enough to design, so I had a slightly more pleasurable looking one than previously. So here it is. There we go. All right. So this is my character sheet with all the information on kind of items I've got and so on. So if you look on the left-hand side, you can see my Kai disciplines, Magi magic skills. I've got 7 of them. I've got a load of lower ranking skills as well, but they're no longer relevant in these books. Retropolis now is saying heads. Choose. Well, I think I have to go because I've got Deviation. I have to go to 14. So Desert Phoenix, we're going to 14. All right, so have a look. 14. You focus your Kai skill on a Dharma's hand, but you cannot tell which side of the coin. You cannot tell which side of the coin is showing. All you can detect is a strong magical aura. It indicates that the coin is magically shielded. Ha! You have no option but to guess which side is showing. Heads or tails. Well, as Retropolis called out heads, thank you for interacting, sir. That's the name of the game of this stream. We're going to 330 with heads. 330. So let's see. When he opens his fist, you see the coin shows tails. Fate has chosen you for this heroic task, my friend. Oh, good. He says, and he hands you the leather satchel containing the crystal explosive. My men will cover you with their crossbows when you make the run. Very reassuring. Place the device so the shard faces the door, and remember, you only have 10 seconds to get back when it's activated. You shoulder the satchel that Adamus gives you, and you scramble over the rampart and sprint towards the great iron door of TORGAR. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Magna Chi discipline skill of Hunt Mastery, which I do not, you can add 2. If you have completed the Law Circle of Solaris, have I? Isn't that nice, Lolly? No, I've only completed the Circle of Light. You can add a further 2. If your current endurance score is 8 or lower, deduct 1. No, it certainly isn't. Okay, all right. So we've got to roll a dice. And it sounds to me like we want to roll 8 or higher, which is a bit of a tall order on die 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good odds. Because there are 3 choices. If you roll 1 or lower, turn to 2, 4, 3. That's going to be your adventure ends here. If you roll 2 to 7, turn to 99. If you roll 8 or higher, turn to 184. So okay, let's get the die app up and we'll see what we're doing. Oh, unhelpfully, I haven't got that on a separate screen. I'll just move it there. Here we go. By the way, I just ordered my copy of Book 11. It's on its way, the new one. I don't know if they're shipping yet though. But I ordered it, and I ordered a white Lone Wolf t-shirt to go with my black one. All right, here we go. 1 die roll of D10. We have rolled a 7. So, Desert Phoenix, we are going to 99. 99. I'll keep that die app up for the moment in case we get into combat anytime soon. The shouts of the defenders, a metallic twang, the vanguard's crossbows echo across the causeway as you sprint headlong towards the door. A rain of boulders begin to fall, smashing around you with terrific force, but you manage to dodge these and you reach the goal unscathed. Quickly, you tear the satchel from your shoulder, prime the crystal explosive, and sprint back, counting the seconds with every swift step. Suddenly, a terrific jolt throws you forward, a dull throbbing pain spreads across your back. A falling rock chopped into your shoulder blade and knocked you to the ground. Lose 4 endurance points. Desperation suppresses your pain, and you scramble over the rampart with hardly 1 second to spare. Turn to 301. Okay, so we're going to 301, and let's see. Let's go to 301. Yeah, I've got to knock off 4 endurance points. Let me just do that quickly. My current level of endurance is 35. So I'm now down to 31.
You want me to join in the dialogue as well? Or are you good?
Yeah, if we have some other characters, maybe.
Right.
There's probably a couple of bad guys. Yeah, because you do pretty good voices, man. When you're on before. All right, okay. The crystal explodes with a blinding flash, releasing a bolt of sun-like energy, tearing a massive hole in the 1 foot thick iron plate, which transforms what little remains into red hot slag. The shuddering concussion jars the entire causeway, and fragments of glowing metal fall all around you. Triumphant cheers rise above the thundered boom. There you go. You can do some cheers there. Hooray! That sounds like Gollum. Hooray! Okay. As the spear point of Adama's army surges across the causeway towards the ruined gate, turn to 273, and we have a picture of this. It's kind of weird image, but we do have a picture of the gate that's been blown open. Also looks like something else, if you ask me. But anyway, all right, okay. So there's some dead bodies there, and then there's a line of guys with shields. All right, well, we're steaming in. 273 we're going to. 273. All right. You take your place beside Lord Adamus and charge through the smouldering gap, leaking skillfully over the charred, broken remains of the Drakeem who were caught by the blast. The Allied soldiers follow your lead and sweep into the startled city through a gate guarded now only by the slain. Despite their shock, the defenders begin to rally as they receive fresh reinforcements from other parts of the city. Soon a vicious battle rages in the cramped and gloomy streets. You may wish to note that you have visited the city of Torgar for future reference. Okay, well, I'll put that on my... We haven't got a places visited on this character sheet, but I'll put it on my notes on the other one. Let me just do that. City of Torgar. Okay. So, you lead a group of men-at-arms across the courtyard and into a dingy street where you find yourselves confronted by a regiment of Drakeem garrison troops. They've gathered to make a wall of shields behind a pair of small figures. They are black-robed and cowled, and each is holding a yellow globe. Okay, and then it's asking me if I possess the skill of divination and I'm rank of tulitory or higher, which I am. Turn to 22. So I take it these are going to be nasty evil wizard types. All right, so we're going 22. Your Magnified skill warns you that the robed figures possess magical abilities. Yeah, no shit. The glass globes that they're holding contain a volatile mixture of phosphorus and oil. In other words, grenades. If the globes break, the contents will burst into flames immediately upon contact with the air. If you have a bow and wish to fire an arrow at one of the globes, turn to 293. If not, turn to 199. Well, I do. I have the bow of Duanadon. So I am going to fire an arrow. So we're going to go 293. 293. Okay. The two diminutive magicians see you level your bow, and immediately they realize they're in mortal danger. As you take aim, they get ready to hurl their spears. Pick a number from the random number table. Yeah, I thought that would be coming. Add any missile bonuses you have to this number. Right, well, I have combat skill with a bow at +3. The bow of Duanajon is also a +3 in any combat. So I think that gives me a +6, right? You think so?
Sounds like it, yeah.
I think so. Because it says add any missile bonuses you have to this number. So +1 for the skill, and then +1 because the bow is kind of like a cool bow. Sorry, it's +3 on each. So I get +6. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to roll below 7 unless I roll a 1. I shouldn't have said that now. You watch, I'm going to roll a 1 now. Fuck! Oh, I knew it. If I hadn't have said that, that definitely would not have happened. If you roll 7 or lower, turn to page 149. Hanky soapy tit bollocks. Right, okay. 149. It's going to be bad. Well, it doesn't say your adventure ends here. That's something. Your arrow grazes one of the magicians and thuds into the shield of the Drakeem warrior standing behind him. The wound is superficial and it does not prevent the magician from hurling his spears. Okay, so we've gone from 149, we're now going 106. 106. You are dazzled by a brilliant flash as two of the globes explode, scattering fragments that hiss like the host of fiery snakes into the Parmurian, is that how you pronounce that? Ranks. The men-at-arms scream with pain and terror as the fragments burn everything they touch. This is like what are those fire grenades called? You've served in the forces. Was it phosphorus?
Phosphorus?
Phosphorus grenade, right? Damn, man. You escape the worst of the blast, but the sleeve of your tunic is splashed with fragments and is set on fire. If you have the magnified discipline of Nexus, I do not have Nexus. If you do not possess this skill, turn to 253. This better not be your adventure ends here. Let's see, 253. Right. The flames burn ferociously, and you lose 5 endurance points before you're able to extinguish them. If you possess the law circles of light or Solaris, I do have light. You have you've managed to avoid some of the burns and can reduce the loss by 2 points per circle. Okay, so I take 3 points of damage.
Oh, that's different from the original.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think they had the circles in the original. I don't remember those.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Okay, so we're going to 318, and I've taken 3 points of damage. Okay, 318. Oh, we're in a combat situation, so we'll leave the dice app. Let me adjust my current endurance down from 35 is where's it gone on the character sheet? Oh, it's here. Yes. So I'm now down to 28.
Shouldn't have lost that much. You went through several sections before.
No, but I took a wound when we were blowing open the gate. So for every section where there's no combat or nothing happening, I think me still running about and steaming into the gate doesn't really count as an opportunity to rest, does it really, to be fair?
Yeah. Oh, well.
So once it's a total non-combat, then we'll apply the healing. Okay. Less than half of the Plerian men-at-arms have survived this devastating attack. They reel backward towards the courtyard, and you manage to pull them into a circle just in time to defend yourselves against the bloodied and still vicious Drakeem, who are charging along the street. The soldiers rally and fight by your side. You may reduce by half any endurance points losses you sustain in combat. Okay, because of the soldiers. All right. So we're now basically taking on the Drakeem garrison in this combat. This represents many men. They have combat skill of 24, and they have endurance of 39. But I take half the wounds because that'll be some of the men will be getting killed. So I have endurance of 28. My combat skill.
Even that's slightly different because the combat skill in the original is 26.
Yeah, combat skill is 24 here. That's interesting to see they've changed that. Okay, so my combat skill is 30, I think, with everything. Is that right? Yeah, 30. So I've still got a +6 advantage. That's pretty good. And I take half damage, which is also good. So we're rolling on the +6 on the combat results table. If we get a 10, we kill the entire garrison in the first blow. Let's see what happens. Shit, look at that. I said it and it happened. They're dead. Okay, that was a vicious fight. We all stormed in. Let's go, men. And they're dead. And we're going to 332. I didn't take any damage, nor did I lose a man. So, teach you to chuck your white phosphorus things at us. The surviving Drakeem scatter into the surrounding alleys. You're able to advance towards the center of Torgar unopposed. The Plerians meet up with their regiment, and you continue on your own through the dingy thoroughfare. It leads to an open square with a conical tower of iron points accusingly at the sky. Here the flagstones vibrate to a continuous throbbing that beats like a gigantic pulse somewhere deep in the bowels of the city. Interesting. The battle has drawn most of the Drakeem army away from this square. You have no difficulty in reaching the tower via an open archway. Corridor of steel lies beyond, empty save for constant din, fighting, etc. Countless passages lead off from the main corridors, all sloping downwards. Many are occupied by Drakeem warriors. The passages are poorly lit, and it's easy to avoid your enemies until you reach a vast stairway. It's bathed in bright orange glow, radiates from a level below. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Magna Carta discipline of invisibility, which I do, that was the latest one I picked, add 2. Okay.
Oh, that's a huge change.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
What is the original says if you've completed the lower circle of Solaris, add 3 to the number. Yeah,
Solaris is there as well. But I haven't completed that, so I didn't bother reading that out.
Yeah, it doesn't mention invisibility at all.
Yeah, yeah. So if you've done Solaris, you can add an additional 2. So options for both. Okay, so we want to get higher than, we want to get 7 or above, basically, and we're rolling on a +2. So here we go. We've got a 6, which is +2 is an 8. We are going to 47. 47. Okay. You're about to descend, when a shadow looms into view and a Drakeem officer appears at the foot of the stairs. Instantly, you press yourself to the wall and draw upon your Kai abilities to mask your presence. The officer strides up the stairs, passing within a few feet of you, but miraculously, he fails to notice that you are there and continues without stopping. After pausing to wipe on a trickle of cold sweat from your brow, you continue down the stairs. 285. Going to 285. Okay. All right. Okay, we've got some options here. Beyond the staircase lies a circular parapet which overlooks a huge cavernous crater. It is filled with thousands of human slaves, toiling with picks and shovels deep in the sulphurous heart of Torgar. Their bodies are filthy and covered with sweat despite a freezing wind which howls in the depths like a hungry wolf. Drakeem overseers urge them to exert greater effort, and the crack of the whips is answered by the slaves' anguished cries of pain. Angered by what you see, you leave the parapet and enter a dimly lit passage that descends to a door of black steel. The twist of the handle reveals it is locked. If you have a black key, turn to 80. If you have a skeleton key, turn to 219. If you possess neither of these keys. Do I have a key? Let me have a look. I don't think I do. Don't remember picking up any keys. No. Okay, so if I possess neither of these keys, which I don't. When could I have got these keys exactly? Don't remember any options of keys.
No.
We're going to 130. There might have been keys you could have picked up in a different book, I suppose. You examine the lock and recognize it's a simple latch mechanism. If you possess the Magna Carta discipline of Nexus, which I do not, you possess a dagger. Do I have a dagger? No, I don't. No, because I always leave that mean dagger behind. If you possess neither this skill nor the weapon, turn to 17. Okay, we're going to 17.
Yeah.
Fuck, I just died. You're kidding. I was just about to say, this better not be your thing ends here. Narg Dakar, snarls a voice in the corridor behind. You spin around to see 2 Drakeem warriors, both armed with loaded crossbows. Slowly, you let your hand drift towards your weapon, but your move does not go unnoticed. Suddenly, a starburst of pain explodes in your head. Darkness washes over your vision as you slam back against the door, which has struck and penetrated your skull. Death is instantaneously. Tragically, your life and quest end here. Fuck off! Just because I didn't have some keys and a dagger. You're joking. Man, that sucks. What was the previous number?
130.
Right, we're going to go back to that. And I suddenly remembered I have a dagger in my rucksack. Okay, lucky I found that. If you possess a dagger, turn to 142. Shit, that's the second time I've died. In not out of 10 books, that's pretty good, though. I've only died twice. Not like the Fighting Fantasy book where I died 5 times. I played the other day. It takes several minutes to pick the lock using your dagger, and in doing so, unless you use the dagger of Vashna, you snap the tip off. The door opens so delete this weapon from your chart. Fine. The shitty dagger I remembered I had, I don't have it anymore. The door opens onto a passageway lined with torches. Halfway along the left wall, you see another door. It's a solid slab of iron broken only by a small barred window. Silently, you approach it and peer through the grille. If you have visited the Darnag or the island of Kor in a previous Lone Wolf adventure, I have. Go to 260. So we're going to 260. Lucky I remembered I had that dagger. I think that sort of stuff sucks, though. Like, I think you need to make a naff choice. Just not having items shouldn't be a cause of death.
Yeah.
Beyond the door, you can see a dank dungeon cell. A prisoner sits cross-legged on the stone floor. His head is resting on his chest. Dark skin on his hands and arms, covered with tiny scars, and his plaited hair is matted with grime and dried blood. Wearily, he raises his head, and your pulse races when you recognize the face of Lord Pado, warrior magician of Desi. That's the guy with the sky boat. So he's been captured again. This will be the second time I've rescued him. My name's Lone Wolf, and I've come to rescue you. Very Star Wars. So we're going to 278. All right. I've got to blow my nose now. Oh, right. I've had this cold for about 2 weeks now.
Ooh, voice lines.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but it just won't go away. It's because the weather's taken a drastic, horrible turn here. A key to the cell hangs nearby. You grab it, yeah, and open, and Pado rushes to embrace you. Do you want to do the voice of Pado?
Sure. Thank the gods you found me, Lone Wolf, he says, his voice filled with emotion. The Dakarm said you were dead, that your body lay rotting in the Tanag, but I never once believed their lies.
Well, as you can see, they were telling you bullshit, and I'm here. That's definitely in the book. Pado is overjoyed to hear that the Torgar gate has fallen and that the battle is raging in the streets above. When you inform him of your mission, he replies with news that raises your hopes of success. To find out that news, turn to 307. Okay, so 307.
I can help you, Lone Wolf. I know where the lawstones are being held, and I will take you there.
Turn to 88. Okay. All right, we're going to 88. Yeah, we're getting the lawstones. We're getting the thing to do the thing to destroy the other thing with the thing. Stealthily, you follow Pado. Unfortunate name that, because it could so easily be mispronounced. Through the dungeons of Torgar, using shadows to avoid being seen. Ragged columns of slaves stumbled along the passages, dragging their tortured, half-starved bodies. They are beaten, cursed, and whipped relentlessly by the Drakeen guards, who delight in their suffering. It's difficult for you to turn away from such cruelty, but you can't intervene. You'd be overwhelmed. Your mission must come first. Okay, we have a picture of that. Let me put this thing up so I can see what I'm doing. I'll show you this picture quickly. In fact, I'm not take the dice that down. Anyway, this is the picture. Don't know if you can see that. There's slaves doing slave-like things, being marched along the corridor. You emerge from the corridor into the shadows of a circular chamber where a staircase ascends to a pair of huge triangular iron doors guarded by a squad of crack Drakeen Death Knights. A tingling sensation electrifies your skin as your senses detect the presence of the lawstones somewhere behind these doors. Suddenly, an alarm bell fills the chamber with a deafening clangor. The Death Knights begin to descend the stairs, and your stomach chums. I think that this is a typo. This is quite a funny typo. Your stomach chums with fear as you've been detected.
Yeah, it is a typo. It should say churns.
It should say churns. Is it a typo in the old book as well?
No, it's correct in the old one, the original.
Yeah, it definitely says chums. It says chums here in the new book. I can show you on the camera there the word chums, and that'd be so easy to miss on a proofread.
Yeah, no kidding.
Your stomach chums with fear. Well, my stomach is chumming away. If you had the Magna discipline of deviation, don't think I have that one, do I? Oh no, I do. I do have that one. Turn to 299. Okay, we're going 299. All right. I know there's like a big land battle coming up in this book somewhere. I'm really looking forward to that bit. I recall that was my favourite part of the whole series before. The alarm bell signifies that the entrance to the lower tower is under attack. Adamus and his army have reached the centre of the city and are now fighting their way down into the dungeons in an attempt to free the slaves. Death Knights are hurrying to their battle stations, unaware of your presence. Turn to 136. Okay. All right, some choices would be good. Stop just sending us everywhere. 136, 136. It's another one with no choices. The Death Knights tramp past your hiding place, hurry out the chamber. Pedo breathes a sigh of relief. Blah, 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 blah. Only when you are sure you are alone, you leave your hiding place and approach the triangular doors. Turn to 230. Okay, 230. Still one without no choices. Annoys me when there's too many of them in a row. You pull a metal bar that is set into the wall. There's a picture of this. I'll show you in a sec. And the huge leaded lined doors rumble open to reveal an incredible sight. Before you stands a domed chamber. Its ceiling is cross-kissed with gantries of rusted iron. And small groups of ghoulish creatures clad in transparent robes and masks angled upwards towards the floor. Several slendered crystal rods. So we'll say the glow with green fire. They pour forth consistent streams of pencil light, thin light, which focus at a point directly above the center of the pit. Your eyes are drawn to this point, for here you can see the 3 remaining lore stones of Naxator. Okay, those are the mission. The objects of your quest, held suspended in a ball of flickering green flame. The harsh clang of the alarm bell and the sudden sight of silhouetted creatures in the doorway you have startled. They slink away from the pit and escape through an archway, leaving you and Pedo alone in the chamber. Okay, so there's a picture of this, and that picture is here. It's a bit of a crude drawing, really, but not up to their usual standards. Is that drawing in the original?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of the artwork is good. Some of it, so-so. Cautiously, you approach the edge of the pit and look down into the midnight depths. No light penetrates the blackness. No sounds can be heard in this seemingly bottomless abyss. Above you, lore stones hang suspended in a ball of green flame, beyond reach from the ground, but within a hand's breadth of the gantries that crisscross the pit from above. Okay, well, I think I know where we're going. If you wish to climb the gantry to attempt to retrieve the lore stone from above, turn to 249. If you choose to examine the crystal rods, turn to 160. If you decide to search for a way of retrieving the lore stones from below, turn to 201. I don't think going in that pit's a good idea. Just going to say. Something tells me, that probably won't have a good outcome. And we've already died once, technically, so we don't want to make that a double. What are your thoughts? Either gantry or examine the rods, I think.
Maybe examine the rods first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, examining the rods is 160. We have a picture of said rods. Not quite sure, but let me read it out. You sense that the crystal rods are generating a powerful charge of negative energy. I hate negative energy. The lore stones are being bombarded with this energy in the hope that that eventually it will destroy them. If you are to retrieve the lore stones safely, you must first shut off this power. However, by doing so, you'll remove the means by which they're kept suspended, and they'll fall into the pit. You ponder the problem for several minutes. Before you hit upon a solution. Turn to page 5. Okay. I'm glad that pondering for several minutes is the solution to all dilemmas. You notice a spot where a gantry passes directly over the ball of green flame. If you can crawl to this location, You'll be able to cup your hands below the law stones. Pado could then destroy the crystals, and the law stones, freed of the energy beams, would drop into your hands. Okay, sounds risky, but let's do it. It's a bold plan, but you feel confident it will succeed. I'm glad I feel confident. Fantastic. Turn to page 40. Okay, so page 40. The corroded iron gantry shakes violently as you inch your way nearer to the flaming green ball. Once you are in position, you call out to Pado, and one by one, he smashes the crystal rods. Turn to 196. Okay, so we're going 196 now.
Oh, here we go.
As each rod is broken, its beam disappears and the fireball grows weaker. The golden light of the law stones begins to radiate through the green evil flames. When Pado has destroyed half the rods, one of them tips and falls into your waiting hands. Immediately, a wave of energy courses through your body. It sharpens your thoughts and perception and fills you with renewed strength and vigor. Sounds like I've just taken cocaine. You shout encouragement to your companion. He raises his head to reply, but his words are drowned out by a harsh and terrible voice. Turn to 350. That sounds like it's near the end.
It is.
Hang on. So I've just gone to the end of the book, 350. I haven't participated. There's a big battle in this book. There's like a big. All right, we'll come back to that. Sounds like I'm at the end.
Might have been the battle. It might have been that battle against the horde a little earlier. That might have been the big battle you were thinking of.
No. No. It's not that bit. I'll show you in a sec, because I actually remember that take. I just must have missed it. Obviously, didn't go a certain route, and
yeah.
I guess I missed it. Vengeance is mine, lone wolf, booms the thunderous voice. Terror strikes deep in your heart when you turn to see the ghastly form of Dark Lord Logue. His loathsome form fills the archway through which his minions escaped. When you first entered this chamber, ghastly rasping laugh echoes from his fly-like head as he raises a black crystal and points it at the gantry. The vow I gave at Tahu shall be fulfilled. Now I shall destroy you and the law stones. There's a deafening crack, and a bolt of blue lightning streaks from the stone, held in his pincer-like claw. It shears through the rusty metal, and you are prepared with the red-hot iron splinters. As the shockwave hits the weakened ball of fire, the two law stones are sent tumbling into the black abyss. Then a second bolt from the black stone tears the gantry in two, and with a ghastly laugh, the Dark Lord Nang ringing in your ears, you plummet headlong into the icy cold pit. You're fallen into the portal of total darkness, a shadow gate that leads to the twilight world of Darzim. Sounds like Zarkadoom. The wisdom and strength of the Lawstone Lumi is now part of your body, and the spirit of the last remaining Lawstones are still within your reach. But your descent into the Darzim heralds the beginning of a new and deadly episode of the Magna Kai quest. If you have the courage to be a true Kai master, the supernatural wonders and horrors of this twilight plane await you in the penultimate Magna Kai adventure, The Prisoners of Time. Okay, so that's the end of the book. I'm a little bit disappointed with this book. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about.
I believe you.
What?
I said I believe you.
Okay, this is the picture of the bad guy. That's a pretty close likeness to Desert Phoenix for anyone who's wondering. It's not far off. Similar physique.
I wish.
Similar physique and haircut. Okay, so because I remember one of my favorite things about the Lone Wolf, here it is, the Lone Wolf story, was that at some point you took part in this big land battle. Here it is, all marked out in this map. See? And you had to make various decisions. You decided which unit you were going to be with, and it was really good. You kind of like fought your way through the whole battle through a whole load of different sections. You had to fight various combat things.
Guess you just got lucky this time.
Well, I mean, but I was really looking forward to that. I was really looking forward to that, man. I wanted to do that bit. Yeah, I mean, it's That's annoying. I guess it's just a different route, I guess. And that section starts at 280. So, but that is annoying, man. I wanted to do that battle section. That was my favorite part of all 10 books. And I knew it was coming up because I'd flicked through this book and I'd seen that picture. And I thought, this is the one with the big battle in it. Whereas I actually thought it was book 9. So, yeah. Well, that's a shame. But never mind. So, book 10 is completed. Let's put that up here. So, Phoenix, did you see that I've got a few cool things now. So, on eBay, although I didn't realize they have actually been reprinted, in which case I probably would have got the new ones, but on eBay I managed to get these.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I saw your picture of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a ninja series. These are the original 6 books, and then the guy who wrote them, Mark Smith and Jamie Thompson, they did a prequel and a sequel. So there are 7 books. Now, I'm particularly brassic at the moment. For those people not familiar with that English slang term, it means broke. So I won't be getting the prequel and sequel books just yet because I'm not playing that anytime soon, because I'm going to do, assuming book 1 arrives tomorrow, I'll be doing Freeway Warrior next. I really like the look of these. I used to have these. I don't know if I had all 4 of them, but I do remember that I did have the Omega Zone, which is book 4. I definitely had Slaughter Mountain Run as well. So I have a feeling maybe I had all 4 of these. I just forgot. But I really
I never saw any of those.
They're great. Well, it's great. I mean, if I take the cover off one of them, this is the map on the inside. See that?
Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and actually playing this wide variety of books is helpful because I'm going to publish my own Choose Your Own Adventure book next year. I'm going to do a series of them, and they're all going to be World War II, and they're all going to be famous battles. And then, depending on what your character does, you can affect the outcome of history. And there will be several different endings. There won't be just one ending. There'll be more than one ending. Now, I think my first book is going to be on Arnhem, I think. So I'm probably going to do the Battle of Arnhem, and then I'm going to do D-Day, and I'll probably do a Stalingrad one. But getting ahead of myself, let me do one first and see how that goes. But I think Arnhem probably. And what I want to do is I want to try and get it so that it can be this kind of size, so that it can be a nice big book. But then I've got to have 2 columns inside, which for layout and stuff might be a bit more complicated. But yeah. I mean, these books are massive because this one's got nearly 1,000 sections, whereas the Lone Wolf books and Fighting Fantasy are always between 350 to 400. So you're talking double the amount of choices. But one thing that worries me a little bit is it says your party. You must select a group of 4 adventurers to explore the legendary kingdoms. Each has their own backstory and set of abilities. You can select any 4 party members, but it is wise to have a balance of skills. Now, so these are the kinds of people you can select in Legendary Kingdoms. There's some of them there. Tasha, Amelia, Lord Tiquan, Sar, Jessica Dane. That's 3 girls. And then there's these 2. So I just... That means I've got to keep records of 4 characters myself. That's quite a lot of bookkeeping when you're playing a game. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm up for it, but it's quite a lot of bookkeeping because I quite like the idea of it being quick. This one is even bigger. This is the first one, and they're doing a 3rd book called The Pirates of the Shattered Isle. So depending on how much I like these, I have heard they're a lot of fun, and certainly there's a lot of options. But again, I want my own book to have at least 1,000 options, and with the Battle of Arnhem, for example, the adventure will take place over 7 days. So there'll be a whole load of options that are on September the 17th, numbers that will fall into that day category. And then there'll be a whole load of numbers that will fall into September the 18th, and so on and so on and so on. And I want, I'm going to include all these different things that actually happened in the battle. And depending on which route that you take, you can participate in those elements of the battle or not. So that that will be interesting to do, because I know so much about that battle, it being a particularly favorite topic of mine. While we're on that subject, I went to a games convention recently. In fact, I was there just the other day, and if I just open, I'm going to I'll share an image. I took some photographs of the game which actually won Best in Show, and I've lost Desert Phoenix. He's got a bad signal sometimes, so he'll probably come back in a second. Okay, I'm going to just share these guys. I know it's a bit off topic, but I finished earlier than I thought. Desert, you're back. There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
This is from Selwig. This is the South East London War Games Group, which, funnily enough, have their yearly convention in North London for reasons that are best left explained by them. But they had one club brought a 15 mil game of Pegasus Bridge down. It's an absolutely fantastic layout, extremely accurate. I know because I've been there many times, and had a really interesting time looking at this with them, and you can see that they've got things like the water tower here, although this would have been heavily wooded, this area, so that needed a few more trees where the water tower is. But yeah, it's a really, really good model, and this won the best game at the show. This is known as Horsa Bridge on the left. These 3 gliders represented the 5 that landed on target. So there were actually 3 over here, and there was this one, and then there was another one a bit further up. So but it's really good, really accurate display. And of course, I put these pictures up, and everybody's squabbling over gliders being in the wrong place and all of this kind of thing. Can't please some people, you know what I mean? Can't please some people. So I think next then, the first book 1 of Freeway Warrior is due to arrive tomorrow. So I will probably I'll probably crack on with that. Let me just check my diary. I might do a session on. I might do a session on either Monday night or Sunday, but I just need to see how Saturday goes. So Saturday night, I am doing a deep dive discussion on one of the best British drama shows of all time. I've got this great new intro for our best of British drama, because we're going to be doing a whole load of these. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
So you weren't going to say no, really, were you?
No, of course not.
Would have been very rude. Right, let's have a quick look at the new intro for the best of British drama on the Outcast Creative channel.
It's the home of Shakespeare, football, and mushy peas. It's a place of happy valleys and friends in the north. It's gritty, outlandish. It's a cracker. If it has a heartbeat, you'll find it here.
How good is that?
Whose voice is that?
That is Gary Bolter. He is an actor and a very good friend of mine. He is a member of the Outcast Creative. He has participated in a number of our projects and is an absolutely fantastic chap. So, our friends in the north is a BBC drama show. I'm just going to get it up on IMDb. Just talk about it quickly because that all finished. I was expecting there to be I was thinking, when's this big battle coming? Didn't realise I'd managed to completely miss it somehow.
Now, what's the first book of the Freeway Warrior series?
I don't have it, but it's called Highway Holocaust.
Okay. Yeah, Project Aeon does have the Freeway Warrior series in it.
Oh, so you can also read those for free as well.
Yeah.
So Project Aeon, for anybody listening, I think it's when Joe Deaver knew he was ill with cancer, he decided to put all of his books up online for free, so they would always be there for people to read. And good on him for doing that. So you can check them out there if you don't want to buy them. I am going to buy all the new Lone Wolf books because I want to have a definitive collection and I want to be working from the definitive editions. So on Saturday, we are doing a deep dive into this show, Our Friends in the North. It's a 9-part drama series. Each episode is almost the length of a feature film. They're around sort of 80 to 90 minutes. And it follows the lives of 4 friends, played by Christopher Eccleston, who was, of course, the first Doctor in the new Doctor Who reboot. Daniel Craig, very young there. Of course, you'll know him as our James Bond. Mark Strong with hair. So if you remove the hair off the man, the third man, and put a bald head on him, you'll recognise him. He's been in absolutely loads of things. And one of our best British actresses, Gina McKee, on the end there. And this is the friendship of 4 close friends. Over a period of 30 years, the show starts in 1964 and the story finishes in 1995. And it's absolutely fantastic television. It's one of the best shows ever made, in my opinion. Written by Peter Flannery, based on the stage play of the same name, though radically different from the stage play, goes a lot further. It's got a fantastic supporting cast, a number of whom have been interviewed on my channel. Stephen Marcus is in it. He's done an interview on the channel under the industry interview section. Danny Webb is in it. Again, he's done an interview. And you've got people like Alan Armstrong. You've got Malcolm McDowell playing a villain in this show. It really is. It's groundbreaking TV. It's amazing that it ever got made because it was quite difficult to get it made. And if you look at this image here, you can see the characters when they're young on the left, and then the same actors playing them when they're old on the right. And they did a fantastic job with the makeup when they aged them. They cast people that were all aged around 30 or in their early 30s who still looked good, so that they could play the younger versions of themselves, but with the assistance of makeup, they could play the older versions of themselves as well. Like I say, fantastic show. Peter Vaughan, who was in Game of Thrones. Now Our Watch Has Ended. If you remember him, he was like the blind guy on the Night's Watch. He plays the father or one of the main characters. He's amazing in this. And it was the show, actually, that introduced me to him. So, yeah, fantastic show. It's just amazing. So I'm doing a really big deep dive into that on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Dark Hour is co-hosting it with me. He's been watching it. And we're doing part 1. So we're doing the first 3 to 4 episodes we're going to cover, and I'm going to talk about them in detail. That's what I've got coming up next. Then, next week, on the 25th of October, I have got the director, Stuart Urban, coming in for an interview. Now, Stuart Urban directed the first 3 episodes of this show. So he's coming in, but he also directed, and I don't know whether you've seen this, Desert Phoenix, and if you haven't, you should see it. He directed another feature film called An Ungentlemanly Act. An Ungentlemanly Act is about the invasion of the Falkland Islands. Here it is. It was made in 1992. It's an award-winning film, and it basically covers the initial invasion and the reaction of the people defending the island. This is one of my favourite films. It stars the late, great Bob Peck, who many of you will know from Jurassic Park. So this was Stuart Urban's first feature film. It's a very, very, very good movie. It's got some great action scenes. I don't think we're going to have a lot of stills here, but let's see what we got. Oh no, we have got some stills. So there's a whole host of very well-known British actors. Got the late Rosemary Leach there. There's a very young Mark Warren, who some of you will remember was in Band of Brothers. I've met Mark about 3 times as it goes. Well, the first time I met him was just after he shot this. And they actually went to the Falkland Islands to film this show. There's my friend Hugh Ross, who's a really good friend of mine. Might actually see if I can get him to pop on. So it really covers basically the week before the invasion, when all the news starts coming out that Argentines might be preparing to invade, and what the British do to prepare for their defence. It's extremely well done, and you know, one of my favourite shows of this era, and it was a really good era of drama for the BBC, the 90s.
I've never heard of it.
You haven't heard of it?
Well, I'm not really big on war films, so.
Well, that would make sense, mate, because you've lived it, so you know. But it's not really. I mean, it is a movie about a war, but I wouldn't really call it a war film, because there's a little bit of action and stuff in it. I love Richard Graham, one of my favourite actors, but it's really more about the incompetence that led to this thing happening, and then the ridiculousness of it on both sides when it all unfolded. But it's a really good show. You've got Ian McNeice there. A lot of people will remember him from Harry Potter and things like that. But yeah, it's a good show. The battle scenes are there's not loads of action in it, but what there is very well done, and on a pretty small budget as well. But they did go to the Falkland Islands to film, which I thought was pretty good. So anyway, yeah. So there's a young Adam Godley there, who's now a very, very well-known actor. So we're going to be getting into all of the stuff from Stuart Urban's career. That interview on Wednesday, very exciting. I've got a number of other interviews lined up this side of Christmas, so looking forward to doing those. So I guess that's about it. Desert Phoenix, thanks for coming in and joining me on, albeit this very short stream where we only really got to amble over like maybe 2 decisions.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed by that book. I don't know what went wrong there, because I would have assumed that all of the routes would have led you to that battle at some point. Maybe I did a boo-boo. I might have to do an offline read through and see if I made a mistake, but I don't think so. Well, that's it from me. Thanks very much for tuning in. I better jump off now and go back to my moderating duties on the Critical Drinkers channel, which is live right now. But yeah, Desert, thanks for coming in and joining me again. If you want to pop on the next one and you're around and you're not driving,
my schedule turns out. So
yeah, well, and I don't book these in as a fixed thing every week. And one of the reasons I don't do that is I have to talk all the way through them, and it depends how I'm feeling. If my voice is pretty knackered and I've already done a couple of other streams for people, then the last thing I want to do is jump on one of these. But I like doing them very much. Hope you enjoyed watching. And I'll see you all again on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Bye.